Okay, OLAP operations. There are a few basic types of OLAP operations. The first is slicing and dicing. Okay, now when you slice, you're creating a slice of data by applying one filter. Okay, an example shown here. If we want to see the revenue in a particular country, assuming that, of course, we have a filter for countries, and we select the value of USA, then we have a slice of data for USA, and that's called slicing. Dicing, on the other hand, is when you apply a filter in more than one dimension. Okay, for instance, one dimension is country, and the second dimension is material group. So you apply two filters. So you want to see the result for USA and for material group mountain bikes. Okay, so now you are dicing the data. The second type of OLAP is drill down and roll up. Okay, drill down basically means you are displaying more detailed information, and roll up is the opposite. Okay, so drill down to more detail, and when you roll up, you hide the detail. Okay, example here, we can display revenue by year, by quarter, and by month. Okay, so we have I guess three types of detail in terms of time dimension. We are drilling down, and when we roll up, we can then display information or revenue by year and quarter only, without the detail for months. Okay, so that's called roll up. Finally, the third type of OLAP is called rotation or pivoting. Okay, Microsoft Excel actually has pivot tables functionality. Some of you probably are familiar with. This is very similar to pivot tables. Okay, so when you are rotating or pivoting, you are basically changing the axis in columns and rows. Okay, let's see some additional examples. On this slide, it shows data in 3 dimensions. Okay, dimension time, dimension sales, and dimension material. Okay, and also notice that they are only showing a cube with 3 dimensions because basically human beings can only perceive 3 dimensions. But understand that in reality, an info cube can contain many dimensions. Okay, not just 3. And not only that, in terms of SFPBW, a dimension actually includes multiple characteristics. Okay, so this is different from some people might have heard about the meaning of dimensions. Okay, and we'll talk more about that in the future in a separate chapter. Okay, but if you are interested, you can look at the example shown here on the right hand side. For instance, under each dimension, dimension time or dimension sales or dimension material and so on, you have several characteristics. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We are looking at a cube with 3 dimensions for now as an example that we will use to illustrate OLAP operations. All right, first OLAP operation, slicing or slice. Example here, we are slicing the let's see, dimension material. No, I'm sorry. The the slice is about a particular sales organization. Okay, so time and material do not change. We're simply slicing the middle of the cube, and and then put it out. So it's kind of like a cake that we can cut into different pieces. So we are just cutting the middle and take that one out as a slice. Then on this slice you have then data for a particular sales organization, ASU2. Okay, so if you see the result at the top of the screen there, it shows you that AUS2 is displayed as the sales organization. Okay, so that's one slice of data. Dice, on the other hand, means that we apply a filter to 2 dimensions, right? At least 2 dimensions. So now you have sales organization as well as distribution channel being applied. Okay, so sales organization is ASU1 and ASU2, and for distribution channel we want wholesales. Okay, we don't want internet sales or retail, whatever. Okay, so we only want wholesales data. So as you can see at the top of the screen, we have ASU1 and ASU2, and we also have wholesales data only for distribution channel. Okay, so that's dicing. Next, on this slide, we have examples of drill down and roll up. So, for instance, we are drilling down to show detail by month. So, if you look at the top first, we have data on distribution channel, internet, and wholesale. Okay, and we can drill down by months. And if we do that, we get the bottom report, which shows, I guess, the last 3 months of the year. Okay, from October to December, for each distribution channel. Okay, and if you start it out from the bottom, you can then roll up by hiding the month's data. When you roll up, then you go back to the report at the top. Okay. Finally, rotation, mentioned earlier, simply means you are changing the axis. You're swapping the axis. Okay. For instance, here, dimension sales and dimension time are swapped. Okay, dimension material stays the same, but you are changing dimension time with dimension sales. So that's rotation. Yeah, example here at the top, you have sales by material group and country. Okay, material group and country. And then after a rotation, we get the report at the bottom, sales by material group and year, okay, as opposed to material group and country at the top.